Welcome to the Good Success Podcast. We have an amazing show scheduled for you today, but before we get started, let's have a word from our sponsors. Radius Renovation Group is a full-service construction management solution for investors of single-family and small multifamily investors in 25 states. Whether you own one property or hundreds in different states, the goal is to be your one-stop shop for all your construction needs, to increase property values, and to give you a positive and profitable outcome. Using their 8-step process, Radius will walk the project, complete a line-by-line scope of work and estimate, schedule work with licensed and Radius certified contractors, manage the project and contractors, pay the contractors as work is completed, provide quality control throughout the project, and when the project is complete, do a final inspection. Clients are provided with login access to Radius's cloud-based project management platform to view work schedules and updated photos of each job. There is even the ability to directly message the project manager. Radius only works with real estate investors, so they speak your language and understand your needs, from project timing to investor-friendly pricing. If you're an investor who is done trying to manage contractors and rehabs on your own, it might be time to consider having Radius as your partner. To put their expertise to work for you today, visit the Radius website at www.radiusreno.com or call them right now at 417-730-9777. And now, back to the Good Success Podcast.
Good success to me means to be happy with oneself, to be productive, and to develop a balance in life, and to be able to share that with the people that you care about and the people you meet. So just to be happy, productive, and have a balance in one's life.
Welcome back to the Good Success Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Culler. Tom Olson, president of Good Success, sitting on my left. Tom, how you doing?
That's me. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Just got back from Jamaica or something, right?
I did, and it was really hot there.
It was.
It
So
was
I was in Orlando for a week right after we were at Miami at the Mastermind, and it was 99 or 100. I think it was 102 or something for a couple.
It wasn't
days.
that bad in Jamaica.
It was hot, but it was beautiful. So we enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was incredible. My body's not used to that sun heat.
Yeah.
Though,
Okay.
So
well.
I suffered a little bit, but we went on a missions trip. It was incredible. So that was a lot of fun. But anyway, so we're back with the episodes. I know we had a little bit of a lull, but we had some things that we were wanting to get together and make the podcast a little bit better and refocus, recalibrate some things. So we are back and strong. So today we have a good friend here, Rita, out of Fort Lauderdale. Now, Rita, one more time, pronounce your last name for the people that are listening right now.
Medeiros, Rita Medeiros.
Medeiros. What nationality is that?
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Oh,
wow.
okay.
I would have never guessed. That's awesome. Well, very cool. So Rita, we're very excited to have you on the show today. And like I said, out of Fort Lauderdale, and the Mastermind was just right down there in that neighborhood. So that was great. And then you even mentioned it too. So Rita creates affordable housing for single moms and their children through the Section 8 program. And she does a lot more other things that we're going to talk about too. She also has a Meetup Group that she co-hosts with. And we're going to have her talk about that. So we're excited to have her on. Very interested to learn a little bit more about her, because I don't think that she knows much about us and we don't know much about her.
Great guest to have sometimes.
Heard some really good things. Listened to a couple of shows that you've been on as well. And we're excited to have you on. So, but before we get into it, if you guys haven't already, make sure you have subscribed to the Good Success Podcast. We're on all podcast platforms. Search Good Success if you're not subscribed already, and subscribe, or just download the mobile app, the official mobile app. Either go to the Android Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Search Good Success. You can download the app there. If you're listening on Apple Apple Podcasts. I was going to say iTunes, but no, it's Apple Podcasts. Make sure you head over there, leave us a 5-star review. That would be absolutely amazing. We would love to hear your thoughts on that. That actually does help us out a lot, because you're able to leave your feedback on there of what episodes you like, what episodes you dislike, whether it's something that you want us to talk a little bit about more or get a certain guest on. Leave reviews there. We would love that to happen.
And also, if you are following us on Facebook, so these videos are going to go out on Facebook,
Yeah, that's right.
on YouTube, on Insta TV, all of those as well. If you're listening to this as a podcast and you'd rather look at us or watch us on one of those platforms, go there, subscribe, or whatever the case is. Follow us on Instagram or whatever the case is. So just make sure you guys know we are on all the social media platforms as well, and subscribe, and we're really trying to make a push to be able to push those subscriber bases.
Yeah, absolutely. So just go search Good Success on all the platforms. You'll find our big G logo there, and you're all good.
What we found, Josh, is that we have a completely different audience on Facebook than we do on Instagram, that we do on. So everybody's totally different here for us, which is kind of odd according to what our marketing company has told us. Like, a lot of times it's kind of the same followers, but for us, it's like we literally have thousands of followers on each place, and they're all different people. So just keep that in mind when you guys are out there. If you guys could help us a little bit with that, let us know who you are out there that's following us, and give us some comments and let us know what we can do better.
Yeah, absolutely. Every platform is going to be different. So whatever your flavor is, head over there and search for us and follow us. All right. So Tom, let's talk about a couple things. So next week, something big is going down. I don't even know what it is. I don't know. Maybe they don't know. They should know by now. You want to talk about it?
It's the Community Go-Giver. If you have not signed up yet for the Community Go-Giver, I hope there's tickets available, but communitygogiver.com. And just for listening to this, I will give you 30% off. So you just put in the coupon code COMMUNITY and you will get 30% off. But we are going to have a ton of fun. Right now, I'm in the middle of doing daily posts every single day on 5 different social media channels, and just kind of doing a quick video and telling something different about what's going to happen. And today's post was about fun. We're just going to have a bunch of fun. We have a night that we have planned out, and we're going to be able to go eat together, and the whole meeting's just going to be a bunch of fun. And I've talked about adding to the community. I've talked about Community Go-Giver. I've talked about what is a Community Go-Giver. I've talked about we're going to help you figure out how to raise private money, how to invest with a self-directed IRA. All these things are going to be taught, and but one of the biggest things about this event is we're going to have some fun too. So if you want to have some fun and hang out with a bunch of really cool real estate people that want to not just make money but also want to invest in the community, like somebody like Rita, come to the Community Go-Giver, communitygogiver.com.
Yeah, absolutely. So make sure you go sign up. It's happening next week, but it's not too late to sign up. And Tom gave you a coupon code, so just use it and sign up. And then, Tom, the second quarter Mastermind wrapped up not too long ago.
Yep. We had a great event. Actually, a guy from right around Rita's area, Tom Nardone, it was there, and he had a great time there. But yes, our next event's in Maryville, Indiana, August 5, 6, and 7, or 7, 8, and 9. So if you're interested in connecting with like-minded individuals that are already successful, but they want to push each other and hold each other accountable to have the right kind of success, not just make a bunch of money. Making a bunch of money is important. I believe you should double your time, talents, and treasures. That's about being a good steward, yes, but what should lead our lives is charity. What we should have that focus of how can I work to have to give? How can I be the conduit, not a bucket? And if you want to put yourself in a room and create your top 5, I think that's the type of room that you want to create those relationships in, is those people that want to have that, want to direct you in the path that's the right kind of success, not just making more money. Because sometimes making more money is great, and that's what we should do. But a lot of times we really ought to focus on what we were placed on this earth for. And if you want to put yourself in a room like that, I would tell you to check them out. Check out the Good Success Mastermind, goodsuccess.com/mastermind. Fill out the application. We will give you a call, follow up, and see if you're a good fit for the room. A lot of people aren't. So there's a lot of people out there that they call, they fill out the application, and they're not really ready for it. They're not, they can't afford to be in a mastermind like that. Their cash flow they're not to that point where they're successful enough where they can really start making these choices. And if you're one of those type of people that you are, and you can't afford to be a part of a group like that, I would tell you the Good Success Mastermind is where to go. I've been a part of 7 myself over the years. I'm still a part of 3 masterminds, and I'll tell you it's the single point of leverage that has made my life and my business go from just linear to a multiple. So I go to goodsuccess.com/mastermind, fill out the application, and we'll see if you qualify.
Yeah, absolutely. And a good portion of the actual people that we've had on these interviews are either in the Good Success Mastermind or a part of other masterminds.
Or they should be.
So yes, yeah, absolutely. Or they should be, yeah. So so check it out, goodsuccess.com/mastermind. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the interview for today. Rita Medeiros, I got that right? Awesome. Thumbs
materials.
up. All right, cool. So I'm very excited to learn more about Rita here. She has a very interesting model that she works with. Like I mentioned, it's creating affordable housing for single moms and their children through the Section 8 program. And we talk about the Community Go-Giver event. You even mentioned it when you were talking about it, and just maybe not your geographical like location community, but just your community in general. Like it could be like the group of people that you're going towards and trying to help out. And so I'm very interested to hear what Rita has to offer with this program and everything. We're going to talk about a few different things in the interview today, but Rita, for the people that don't know who you are, do us a favor. Don't be shy. Make sure you introduce yourself and build it up for everybody. But we want to learn more about you, so do us a favor and introduce yourself for us.
Hi, my name's Rita Medeiros again. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I was born in Berlin, Germany, grew up in Connecticut, moved to Baltimore, and then moved to Florida about 18 years ago. I am a proud mom of millennial entrepreneurs, my son and my daughter, and I was a Dale Carnegie instructor. I currently have a full-time job as a psychiatric nurse, a registered nurse, so I give back in that way also. And now my passion is real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead and kind of explain to us this model that you got with the Section 8 model for the moms, the single moms. Kind of maybe talk about why you even started it, what's the purpose of it, and then talk about kind of the structure and the processes that you go through to make the deals happen.
Sure. I started purchasing single-family homes, and I bought 21 single-family homes in 11 months. And they were basically all vacant. And I thought, all right, well, now I better hurry up and get them filled up. So I looked around at the Section 8 program because I thought that would be a good defensive play. Everyone's worried about the next crash. And I thought, well, if I can buy affordable homes and put in a Section 8 tenant, that would pretty much insulate me from any crash happening, because the government is fairly reliable and there's such a demand for affordable housing that I thought, regardless of what would happen, and if that program would magically go away, which I don't believe ever will, then I could at least rent them out market. But I thought it was a good place to start because it was meeting that affordable housing need. So that's what I gravitated toward.
Got it. So you mentioned that you're a single mom and raised your entrepreneur millennials, right? So that's something that you connect to very well, especially with this model that works. So how is there any like kind of success stories that you can share with us, or any stories that you have with people that you have helped in this program that you're working with?
Yeah, I think it's just gratifying to be able to create and provide safe, affordable housing for anyone, but it's especially gratifying to pull moms, single moms mostly, out of their projects and put them in neighborhoods. So I've received several letters from moms who now live in nice neighborhoods. They've left the big high rises that they were in before, and now they've been able to put their children in the school system. And as a result, they're really great tenants, because once their kids are ensconced in school, they would like to stay for the next 12 or 15 years so their children could finish their school program. So I've received very heartfelt letters from moms who said, thank you for providing this great house for me. I'm going to try to be a good tenant. My kids are happy in school and I want to stay in the school system. So it's been a win-win for pretty much everyone.
Gotcha. So the fact that you were a single mom yourself is kind of what motivated you to kind of go towards that target audience. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, that's certainly one of the motivating factors, and also just as a business decision, looking at it as a defensive mechanism for down the road. Instead of renting market, I thought, well, if I go into a program that's pretty much guaranteed by your tax dollars and my tax dollars, it's not going away, and also the demand for affordable housing is just so incredible. I felt that would also not go away. So I really thought that while helping someone, it was also a smart business plan on my part to be able to be filling that need for affordable housing.
Understood. So forgive me if I missed it. I don't think you mentioned it, but what markets are you specifically in? Are you only doing the Fort Lauderdale area, or are you in other markets?
No, I'm in other markets. I'm an out-of-state investor. I've looked and started to invest in the Midwest, in Ohio, and I've completed 21 long distance rehabs with all their challenges, and looked at the Section 8 program there and started to put moms in that program. And it's worked out pretty well.
Got it.
So are you managing them from afar, or are you using local property managers to assist with all this?
No, I'm all about passive income. So I really put my team together in terms of a rock star realtor, a title company. I found contractors. I found lenders, and now I'm my third property manager. I now have a stable property management company in place. But if they fall by the wayside, I'm well versed in how to put a team together. Everyone is replaceable. As long as they're a strong member, I'll keep them on my team. But if they're not looking for the same goals I am, I've replaced contractors before, and it's really not that difficult to put your team together, even long distance, I've found.
So maybe we'll talk about in a little bit here about how you're able to find those property managers and those contractors even from a distance away, because that's definitely a strategy I'm sure people are interested in. But first, let's talk about how you built your portfolio while being a nurse. So you mentioned that you're a full-time nurse, right? So how have you been able to do that? I know a lot of people, they've got their full-time jobs, whether it's a corporate job or like you, a nurse and working in medicine or something, but they're able to build a rental portfolio outside of that. How have you been able to make that happen in your life?
Well, I'm a strong believer of leverage, and not only leveraging money, but leveraging other people's talents. So I really felt strongly about the word passive, and I wanted this as just a passive income. I didn't want to be swinging the hammer myself. I didn't want to go and view the property. I didn't want the tenants calling me with termites and toilets and etc. So I just looked to find a good realtor that would lead me to a good title company, and built the team based on leveraging other people's talents so I could remain passive. I have enough to do with my job that I didn't want to take on any more daily tasks. So we're fortunate now. We can do so much through the internet, and it's not as big of a struggle to go outside of our market area just by using our phones, our iPads, and looking around and being able to view the properties long distance.
So you mentioned several times that you're all about the passive income, right? Like that's something that you love doing. Now, a lot of people that we get on the show here, they're active investors. They're actively flipping, or they're actively, the actual property manager. Why is this? May be a dumb question. There might be some people on here like, Josh, why are you asking this question? But I want to hear it from your mouth. Why is passive income, like, why are you wanting to be on that side more than, quitting your full-time job as a nurse and actually going to flip houses and start a property management company? You even mentioned that you know how to put a team together. So kind of what's kind of keeping you on that side of the deal?
I think for every person, it's different. It's a personal decision, and there are no right or wrong answers. And I just think you have to look at your own life and what it is you want to create. And for myself, I wanted to create a balance in life and be able to build income while I was on vacation, while I was sitting at the beach, while I was doing things with my friends, while I was at my other job. So for me, that element of passivity was so important because I wanted to have another income stream, but I really didn't have the time, energy, or effort to put in another 10 hours to create all that. So I thought, let me work with my brain rather than my back and create that team, leverage other people of what they want to do, be able to contribute to their livelihood. Thereby, I can still have that balance of life.
I hope you've been enjoying this Good Success podcast, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Our next sponsor is Gary Harper at Sharper Business Solutions. Your business is a personal endeavor that you have poured your blood, sweat, and tears into, and they know that. Sharper Business Solutions is a full-service solution to help you scale your dream. Sharper Business Solution implements the Sharper process and other key systems, giving you the confidence that you need to have freedom and grow and scale your business. The Sharper team wants to come right alongside you and provide the resources needed for long-term growth and success. If you are looking to grow or scale your business, contact my friend and Good Success Mastermind member, Gary Harper, and his team to help you implement the Sharper process. You can schedule your free consultation today at sharperprocess.com. So go do it right now. Go to sharperprocess.com and schedule your free consultation with Gary and his team. Our next sponsor is Jerry Padilla from Prime Lending. Whether it's your first time buying a home or you're well adversed in the process, buying and refinancing a home can be an exciting and rewarding but sometimes challenging experience. At Prime Lending, we take the time to listen and work with you to find a home loan that fits your needs. If you're looking to refinance your loan, lower your interest rate, lower your monthly payments, shorten your term, or get cash for whatever reason you need, we have a solution for you. Prime Lending also has several options for renovation loans, so you can find what works best for you and your home project. Make sure you contact our good friend Jerry Padilla, who is a senior loan officer and originator with Prime Lending and has over 11 years in the mortgage industry. You can learn more about Jerry and what Prime Lending has to offer you by visiting goodsuccess.com/prime lending. Again, that's goodsuccess.com/prime lending. And now, back to our show.
Got it.
And how long have you been doing this for again?
About a year and a half.
Oh, wow. And you've already gotten that many houses. That's awesome. So I actually think that you're doing it the right way. I see a lot of people that just jump ship and they go this other direction, but like building something on the side that makes a lot of sense. And real estate's a great way to be able to make passive income on the side. And I think that a lot of times people like completely jump ship of what's really like providing for them today. And what I've seen is that the most successful people do it like in a way that in the exact same process that you're doing. So for instance, a lot of our buyers and a lot of our lenders are the same way. Like they're going to keep their job. They're going to continue to go down that path because like that's what's helping provide for what they can actually do to build on the side. I've heard it said, I'm not sure exactly who said it, but like you make your living between 9 and 5, you create your life between 5 and 9. And that's kind of what you're doing. So in a way, like there is some work. It's not 100% passive because you still got to build the team. You still got to manage the manager or manage the realtor. But I think I've seen a lot more success over the long haul of doing it in that type of way. But I think this is awesome that you are, you have this niche of, trying to help single moms find housing through the voucher program. And the voucher programs is kind of a hot topic right now with my, national investors around the country. We actually just went to Washington, D.C., and that was one of the topics that we talked about with the senators was this voucher program because they changed it totally around the country in these big cities. I don't think it's gotten changed everywhere, but there's been a major change that's happened here this year. And some people are happy about it, some people aren't, but that's just kind of how it always runs, isn't it? Some people got more money, some people got less money out of it. So, and so can you give us some like maybe insights on how that works? Because I think that some people don't want to be a part of taking any government money for any reason. So I think there's some people that are on the outside of that looking in. I mean, for us in Gary, Indiana, houses that we're all in like 40, 50 grand, the voucher program pays up to $1,150. I mean, it's way more than market rent. So for us, like we're really doing it, especially lately since they changed it for us. And we found that there's some things that are easier than we thought it was going to be and some parts that are a little harder than we thought it was going to be. So maybe just kind of give us your experience and like what you've learned about that whole program.
Sure, I certainly agree with you. I think it is a great program in that you do have a guaranteed income and many times it is higher than market. Unfortunately, there's a stereotypic view of the Section 8 program and sometimes the Section 8 tenants. And I have found exactly the opposite in that the stereotype says, oh, the tenants will come in, they'll destroy your property, there'll be rough tenants and all of that. And what I found was with a modicum of screening, as we all do for either market or Section 8, we can screen for our tenants and then they come in and they're so appreciative of having a nice place to live and having their children be in a stable environment. But most importantly, what I have found is if the Section 8 tenant does anything wrong with your property, in any way destroys it, they then risk losing their voucher for life. So as a result, I found the exact opposite. The tenants are very careful with the properties and they're very good tenants because they certainly do not want to lose that voucher. So I've seen them very stable. I've not had an eviction yet. I've only had one turnover. So I find them to be stable and careful with the property because of their own vested interests in it. So and the other negative that many people look at are the inspections process. in that, yes, you need to have an inspection before the tenant moves in, and yes, you need to have an annual inspection. But I look at that as a positive in that my properties are then well maintained, they're well kept up because someone is overseeing them once a year, as opposed to letting things run downhill and then you have to plow in so much more money. So while many people view those things as a negative, I like to keep my properties well maintained so that annual inspection does not in any way bother me.
Absolutely. And I think that sometimes people just like, depending on what city you're at and who's doing the inspection, sometimes they can be a little bit overboard, and sometimes it's just not that big of a deal. We haven't seen it to be that big of a deal. We've just had minor checklist items that we might have, that they wanted to take care of, that's something that we didn't really think was that big of a deal, but like caulking a hole or something like that. So stuff like that, we've seen that maybe, need to be done. The biggest thing that you said, though, that I 100% agree with you, though, is we vet these people just like we would vet another tenant. So if you wouldn't let this tenant in a market rent house, I think there's this perception that just because the government's paying, that you just let anybody in. And if you're doing that, stop it. But that's just one thing that I'll tell you that we've learned that we have to do. Like we just because they qualify for the voucher doesn't mean they qualify for our house. So, and they've got to go through the exact same type of scrutiny that a regular tenant would go through. And we have to make sure that that's just part of the equation. It's not the whole thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, that due diligence and the vetting process is even more important. But the beauty is so many times we'll have so many applicants that you have the luxury of screening 10 or 12 different people to find the right fit.
And what part in Ohio are you in?
Cleveland.
Okay, awesome.
So do you guys, staying on this topic, do you guys think that, this is a question directed to both of you, maybe the audience isn't as familiar with Section 8, and then even Rita said it, that sometimes Section 8, that term gets this bad connotation that, you stay away from that kind of thing. Is the reason why it gets that bad thought immediately when somebody hears it because of that vetting process, because maybe the people that have tried it didn't correctly vet the tenants, and that's what gave it the bad name?
Well, I think that Section 8's changed and evolved over the years. So it didn't used to be so they changed it several years ago, where if they do destroy a property, that now I think Section 8 either used to help pay for the repairs, or they still help pay for the repairs, or maybe that's a little different thing. But they also have the incentive, like she said, they're going to lose their voucher. I don't think that used to be the case 10 years ago. And I think when everybody started getting this perceptions built up over time.
Right.
And I think that perception was built up over time because that was the case. I mean, it just simply was the case. So, and I think that now that they've changed it to make it more, I think it's more fair now. I think before it used to really kind of swing one way towards the other. I think they made it more, gave some common ground, and made it more likely for a reasonable landlord to be able to accept Section 8.
That's interesting. What do you think, Rita?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that the changes they made 10 years ago have certainly leveled the playing field, and it's a little bit more landlord friendly now. And the stereotype is still there, and many people just don't understand the changes that have occurred. And, the government in itself has a bad connotation. So with that, many people are just closed-minded to the whole idea. And it's just another avenue, and it's something to take a look at and realize that each area is different, and certainly check out your own area for the different rules and regulations.
I'm really interested in how you find single mothers. Like, how do you actually pull those people out of the and just pluck them out and be like, okay, you're a single. I mean,
she's got an interesting answer coming. I can see it.
Just for single mothers, or how do you do that?
That was totally by accident. I would say 95% of my applicants are single moms.
Wow. Because
with the program, they get paid more if they are not married. So again, it's our crazy government with their rules. So the system is set up to keep people single with their children, and then they get a bigger voucher than they would if they were married. So it was just totally by the rules of the government.
That's interesting.
So you don't actually specifically market just for single mothers. It just so happens that most of your places are filled with single mothers.
Exactly. I would not discriminate against a nice gentleman either.
Right. But it works. But it works. It seems to work out well because you can connect with them very well since you're a single mom yourself. So
that's awesome.
That's a good question though. I love that.
I was just like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Like that's a niche. That's definitely a niche. I mean, and there's probably nothing wrong with it. I don't even think it would be discrimination if she really had a passion to help those people and she could prove that this is, why our corporation is set up. But I mean, I just thought to myself, that's great. I mean, Ken Lacey has his veterans thing where he's only looking for veterans. It's not like he's discriminating against non-veterans, but his whole thing is he's trying to find veterans and trying to help them and trying to help, change the instability in housing and veterans. So like it's the same thing here. But if she's not really marketing for it, then it's a complete accident. Sometimes that's how life deals to us, though, right?
Isn't that the truth?
Things just happen, and they happen for a reason, right? So I'm very curious to hear about some of your strategies on how you mentioned it earlier, and how you're able to live in Fort Lauderdale, and let's just use, for instance, Cleveland, because you mentioned Cleveland is one of your markets, and how you're able to do deals in Cleveland while living in Fort Lauderdale. So how does that work? Do you fly up to Cleveland every week or something like that? Or, I mean, how are you able to make those deals happen, vet your contractors, your property managers, and whatnot?
No, if you remember, I said I was very strong on the word passive.
Right.
I've been to Cleveland all of one time. I have no more intention of going there. I do it all via internet and the telephone, and I found that rock stars will lead me to other rock stars. So the first step was finding a hungry realtor. I think I went through 2 realtors before I found one that was really responsive to my needs and was willing to, search the MLS and find properties that I would be interested in. And then they led me to a title company that was reasonable and timely. And then I just put out the feelers and said, who do you know that are contractors? So I found most of my team through referrals. Just good people like to work with other good people. And the contractors will lead you to a painter or an electrician, because they know who they want to work with. They know who they like to follow. They don't want to follow the lazy guy that's not going to show up. So I found that the contractor was a great resource for any type of handyman I might need. And the property manager, I just Googled about 10 names, and I sat there one day and called them all. And then I impersonated a tenant and pretended to be a tenant so that I would find out how they would treat my future tenants.
Sure.
And I narrowed it down to about 3, asked them the important questions, and then just went from there. But we're so fortunate to have the phone and the internet. We can run any business from anywhere these days, and it's a real valuable tool.
Yeah, absolutely. One statement that you mentioned was rock stars will lead you to other rock stars. That's incredible. I mean, we've said it in different ways, but that is so true. So tell us about, let's expound more on that statement there and kind of the power of networking. So networking with not just people, but good people, rock stars, and how they're going to lead you to other people in their circles out of rock stars as well. So, I mean, kind of how's that work for you, the power of networking and doing it with good people?
It's critical, and it's also critical on my end to build a good relationship, to pay my contractors immediately, to be very responsive to a tenant's complaints. So I think that leverage works both ways, and that I'm trying to build my good reputation. But it's interesting you picked up on the Rockstar, Monica, because that's the name of our women's group, of which I lead 100 professional women that are also trying to learn this. So we just found that rock stars will lead us to other rock stars, and it's a matter of aiming and striving to be a rock star yourself, attracting good people to you, and being responsive to all your disciplines and all your team's needs. And they then value your business, and they will lead you to other good people, I've found so far.
No, isn't that how it works? I mean,
I'm seeing a theme here.
Yeah.
So like she provides housing for women. She leads a women's group. Are all your contractors women and all of your property managers women too?
And she made the statement she's not discriminating.
No, none of my contractors are women. However,
okay.
I will not discriminate against a woman.
We actually have 2 that are women. So like I've done really well. I most of the people that run my companies are women. So I'm definitely not discriminating against women. But I'm not discriminating against men either.
No. We're not on either side. Just to be clear. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about that meetup group. So you mentioned it, and tell us how can people get involved in that? And you have the women's meetup group, and how can they get involved with it? I know that you have there's a platform for the Real Estate Invest Her, where they can listen to podcasts and stuff like that. So tell us a little bit about how they can get involved in all of that.
Absolutely. It's a great organization. Unfortunately, it does cater to women so far right now. You can find us on Bigger Pockets or at the website, therealestateinvesther.com. And it's run in conjunction with Liz Faircloth, who you might have seen on different podcasts. And we're just trying to have one in all 50 states. We have probably about 15 running right now all over the country. And in ours in South Florida, we have about 100 professional women, and we hold it at Panera Bread just because the price is right. We run it once a month, and we just get together to commiserate about real estate. We go around and introduce ourselves, and everyone has a different take. Some are flippers, some are wholesalers, some are into notes, syndication, and we all can just learn from each other. And we're all students of the game, and we just are very passionate about building our portfolio, whatever that might be.
Wow, that's incredible. I love that you're doing that. So you mentioned you have 15 right now, and you're wanting one in every state. What states is on the website? Are they able to see what states are available right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say go to therealestateinvesther.com, and you can certainly see what states, and you can speak to someone there, and we even have multiple. I think in New Jersey we have 2 meetups. So if you see your state and it's taken, feel free, because as we know, states are very large, and there are plenty of real estate investors around to share and look for
absolutely
information.
There's plenty of real estate investors.
Investors. That's right. We're going to start calling them real estate investors, not real estate investors.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's awesome. So you guys make sure you go check that out. If you're a woman entrepreneur, woman and investor, then go head over to.
I'm thinking we should start a local one here.
Yeah, totally.
My wife could do that all day long.
You got a big room.
I know. Got a
right
room
behind
right
us
here, right where the community go-givers event's going to be. We can seat 100 people right here.
Make it happen.
Absolutely,
cool.
That would be awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So make sure if you're a woman entrepreneur or women investor that you go check that out, the real estate.
And if you're local and you're interested in starting one here locally in Northwest Indiana, just talk to me. I got a place.
Yeah, we got a place here, right behind us, right behind the studio.
So Holly Nahutnik or Nicole or Becky, if you're listening.
That's right. Or anybody if you're wanting to start one. All right, so that's going to do it for the questions that we have today. But before we let you go, Rita, we've got 2 final questions that we ask every single person we get on the interview here. Very excited to hear what you have to say because you don't know us very well. But the first one here is good success. So I'm not sure how much you know about us, and if you listen to any of the other podcasts or whatever it is, but that term good success, maybe it was the first time that you heard about it. What came to your mind? Like, what does good success, that term, mean to you?
Good success to me means to be happy with oneself, to be productive, and to develop a balance in life, and to be able to share that with the people that you care about and the people you meet. So just to be happy, productive, and have a balance in one's life.
Love that.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yes,
Work
thank
to
you.
have to give.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Thank you for sharing that. And then the last thing that we got here is you got to leave the audience with one thing only. So whether it's a quote, you've dropped several nuggets already, but we need one more from you. So whether it's a quote, a thought, piece of advice, maybe it's a book you've read that you want to share, you got to leave the audience with one thing. What would that be?
Find your why, take your action, and never quit.
Find your why,
That's
take
3.
your action, never quit.
Does she get 3, Josh?
I think that was one statement.
Okay,
though.
all right.
Find your why, comma. Find your why, comma, not period. Find your why.
Take action
Take
on
action,
your why.
comma.
And then what was the third one?
Never quit.
And never quit.
Never quit. Okay.
Never quit. It's all one sentence.
It's all one
separated
sentence.
by commas, not
Okay.
periods.
All right. All right.
So she got one there.
So we'll allow it. We'll
We're
allow
gonna
it this
allow
time.
Awesome. So, Rita, it's been incredible.
Find
It's
your
been-
why, take action, and never quit.
Never quit. That's right. Rita, it's been incredible having you on the show today. We definitely look forward to having you back again soon. Thank you for sharing everything that you have. You dropped a lot of nuggets, and I'm sure that the ladies that are listening to the podcast the investors are connecting very well with this. So thank you for everything. But before we let you go, contact information. So if somebody want to get in contact with Rita, what would be the best way to do that? Phone number, email address, website, whatever it is, however you want them to connect.
Bigger Pockets will probably be the best spot to track me down. I'm on there almost every day. So my profile is there, and that would probably be the easiest.
Awesome. Well, great stuff. So you
Great,
guys
cool.
make sure you go connect with her. So Rita Medeiros, thank you for being on today. We
Thank
look
you so
forward to
much.
having you back again soon.
Thank you so much. It was my honor to be here.
Awesome. So that is going to do it for today's episode of the Good Success Podcast. We thank you so much for jumping on and joining us for today. If you haven't already, like I mentioned, make sure you subscribe to the Good Success Podcast. If you're listening, go download the Good Success Podcast app, the official app, if that's what you would like to do. It's on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Search Good Success. You'll find it there. If you're on iTunes, or no, not iTunes, Apple Podcasts. I don't know why I said iTunes.
Jamaica's
again.
like
Second
made your
time.
brain go crazy.
Man, it's really hot in here. I'm just gonna tell you
hot
that right
in
now.
here.
But if you're on Apple Podcasts, head over there right now. Jump off the podcast. Leave us a 5-star review.
You should be used
we
to
would
it, Josh.
much appreciate that. Yeah, I was in it for a week.
You should be used to the hot.
It's just toasty.
Don't
in here.
forget about the Active Turnkey, the best way to buy rentals. It basically teaches the Burr method with an actual turnkey provider, and I think it's the absolute best way to buy rentals. This actually does talk about what she talked about, like figuring out what it is that you want in life, why were you created, where you're at now, how you're going to get there, and
It even
then
talks
when
about not
are you
quitting.
gonna- what's that?
It talks about not quitting too.
Exactly. It talks about not quitting once you're in the middle of it. Like you're going to want to quit. Don't do it. But also, I think it gives you a good outline of how to actually buy rental properties the best way, I believe. So activeturnkey.com if you'd like to get free plus shipping, or you can buy this on Amazon as well. And we'd love for more people. We've been getting this a couple times, but if you can take a picture of yourself, post it on Instagram, post it on Facebook, and tag Good Success in it, we would love to see those pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. And then next week, the Community Go-Giver event. It's not too late to sign up. You've got a 30% off coupon. Community, when you go to communitygogiver.com, type that in, you'll get 30% off, and we hope to see you.
You know
there.
what's funny is like when I say Community Go Giver on my phone, it says give her. Like every time, it kind of goes along with the invest her. You know, like
Community give her.
yeah, I it's kind of funny. I don't know, but I think it's maybe it's just
sign.
because we were going to talk to Rita today.
It's a sign.
It's a sign.
It totally is.
Well, thank you so much, Rita, for being on today's podcast. We really appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. So that's going to do it for today's episode. We appreciate you jumping on and joining us today. Remember to be a conduit and not a bucket,
Work to have to give.
and we'll catch you all in the next one.